A Florida man pulls a gun on the cable crew. A pantsless Florida man drove his pickup truck through a pharmacy to steal drugs. A Florida man is arrested for hanging Nazi banners over the highway. And a Florida mother abandoned her child to go swimming with the sharks. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News. They're all from the state of Florida because on Friday on Weird AF News, we only do weird news from Florida. It's Florida Friday on Weird AF News, leading you into the weekend with some degenerate Florida stories. Let's go. A Florida man pulls a gun on the fiber optic cable crew. We have here a Southwest Florida man who was arrested yesterday after a case of what they're calling lawn rage. Yeah, a lot of angry, gun-toting Florida men have the attitude of, get off my lawn. They'll pull a gun before they even figure out why you're on their lawn. They really give a damn about their grass for some reason. They'll shoot anybody they think is messing up their grass. They really like grass, I think, is what's going on. Also, they're drunk and insane. So, according to the document, a deputy from the Lee County Sheriff's Office responded to a disturbance call at a home. A deputy observed a 62-year-old Florida homeowner pacing in his driveway. He appeared visibly irate. He was cursing. We have quotes from the screaming Florida man. The quotes are these. These mother beep better not ruin my beep grass. They'll see what happens if they ruin my beep grass. Again, with the grass. They care about the grass so very much for some reason. Alligators just walking everywhere around their house. They don't give a damn about that. But if you mess up their grass, whoo boy, it's the end of the world. The police made contact with the crew that was triggering this Florida man's anger. Apparently they were workers who had been contracted to lay fiber optic cables in the area. This guy's, bro, you're about to get the fastest internet around and you pull a gun? Get that internet out of my neighborhood. It's woke. I tell you, that internet is woke. And don't get me started on the books. If I see any books coming around here, oh, I'll pull a gun on those books. Those books tried to attack me. It says here, the crew was attempting to leave for the night when this suspect, they're not naming the guy, he aggressively approached their truck with a gun. The deputies made all sorts of attempts to calm this Florida man down, but he continued his cuss-laden rant. Here's some more of the quote. I will shoot those mother beepers. That's how I'll handle it. Well, I guess they have that stand your ground law in Florida, but I don't think it works against inanimate objects like fiber optic cable. Maybe I'm wrong. The deputies did find that the man was in possession of a black and silver Smith & Wesson 9 tactical pistol which was loaded with a magazine that contained 9 rounds of 9mm ammunition, very specific. Based on the nature of the offense, the homeowner was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. This idiot, he goes from having amazing internet to jail and probably a fine, I'd imagine. But I mean, what do you expect? Because these Floridians, they love guns, freedom, and apparently slow internet as well. A Florida man without pants steals $3,000 worth of drugs from a pharmacy. Without pants? Come on, man. Everybody knows you need to be at least wearing shoes to get service at the pharmacy. Come on, at least put on some shoes. This Florida man was wearing only a T-shirt when he decided to use his pickup truck to ram his way into a Fort Myers pharmacy. Only a shirt, no pants, no nothing. It's the old Winnie the Pooh attempt, right? Because Winnie the Pooh only had a T-shirt. Remember that? You guys remember Winnie the Pooh, right? All right, anyways, I digest. The Florida man was working with his full moon exposed, it says, and only the moonlight illuminating his way on an early Sunday morning. Security cameras outside of the family pharmacy and medical supply captured the man around 4:45 a.m. Well, that's about the time Florida man runs out of drugs and need to re-up my drugs. Florida man Aaron Eichbauer, age 36, was arrested after using fingerprint data to link him to the crime. Fascinating. In the security camera video, you can see Florida man Eichbauer use power tools to attempt to get through the glass wall on the side of the pharmacy. Sounds like the pharmacy was using some pretty strong glass because Florida man was unable to get his way into there using power tools. That's when he had a great idea. So you know what? I have a Dodge Ram pickup truck that I brought with me. Maybe I could use this to get inside the building. That's exactly what he did. He got inside his truck, still wearing no pants, by the way, no shoes, just a T-shirt. And he rammed his way into the pharmacy using the Dodge Ram pickup truck. At this point in the story, there's a quote here from someone named Andrea. They're not saying how she's related to the Floridaman or the pharmacy. Her quote is simply, "Wow, I've never seen anything like that." So I'm guessing she doesn't live in Florida. It says, once inside, Floridaman Ike Bauer stole $3,000 worth of prescription drugs from the pharmacy. That's in addition to the roughly $10,000 worth of damage done to the side of the building with the power tools and eventually his Dodge Ram. However, police also say the truck he used to break into the building was reported stolen. Okay, so that's not even his truck. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know why I assumed it was his truck. I should not have. It's a Floridaman. I mean, the shirt probably isn't even his, right? He probably stole the shirt from a Walmart. Should have stole pants, man, because, you need pockets if you're going to steal prescription drugs. Where are you going to put your prescription drugs? At least get some pants or a fanny pack, something to put the drugs inside, Ike Bauer. What are you thinking? They don't say who owns this truck, but the owner's definitely going to have to power wash that driver's seat or just even replace it after this guy was doing his old shirt dingle-dangle robbery. You know what I mean? It's a bare-assed Florida man all over your seat is not what you want. There's another quote from Andrea in here. She says, well, he had quite a night. Andrea, what I don't know who this woman is. So apparently she's important enough to keep quoting. Now, they were able to link fingerprints from the Dodge to this individual, Ike Bauer. Arrest records in Lee County show that he's been arrested at least 15 times before with charges ranging from drug offenses to theft and even domestic violence, but apparently still out in the world. I don't know why. Guy gets arrested 15 times, still out there. So that's comforting. The story ends with another quote from Andrea. She's really given us some good takes on this. She wrote, "You got busted, dude. Don't do it again." Don't do it again. Andrea, this is his 16th time being caught. You think he's going to stop? You think he's going to not do it again because you say so? We don't even know who you are. Are you the mayor? Come on. It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside without pants. Yay! Want to create your own podcast? Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, and distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn money, all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Record, edit on your phone or your computer, send it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video recording options. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions as well. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. A Florida man is arrested for hanging his Nazi banners along a highway. A 48-year-old Florida man named Jason Brown was arrested for violating state laws when he hung banners with Nazi messages over an I-4 highway overpass. He remains in custody for displaying these Nazi messages without obtaining any permission first. I guess you can just hang Nazi banners along the highway. If you get permission first, you can apply for this. Pick up your Nazi applications over there, guys. If you want to hang Nazi signs anywhere in Florida, you know the rule. You hang a Nazi sign, you need a permit, okay? We're fine with you walking around with a Hitler stash as well. We don't mind that. That's pretty normal Florida behavior. At least they're wearing pants, these Nazis, most of them anyways. They like those big boots too. At least they're wearing shoes. We like that. We like our demonstrators to have their clothing on, and we like them to be proactive and polite enough to apply to hang their hateful messages around the state. Demonstrators in recent Orlando area Nazi gatherings have waved flags with swastikas. They have signs with hate speech against Jews and other racial and ethnic minorities, political messages in support of ex-President Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ronnie D. I covered the story, was it last week or the week before, about a Nazi gathering in Florida that seemed to be okay with everybody. I don't know why. Jason Brown, the Florida man in this story, had his own demonstration, which contained messages endorsing DeSantis' 2024 presidential bid. Ironically, it was a law signed by DeSantis, which puts Brown behind the bars. Jason Brown has been linked to a group known as the Order of the Black Sun. Black old sun, won't you come and hang your Nazi sign? Black old sun, won't you come and put up your Nazi sign? According to the Anti-Defamation League, this group is Florida-based and focuses on distributing literature and demonstrations promoting hateful ideology. But oftentimes, I assume they apply and they obtain permission first before they spread their hateful, disturbing literature and promote hateful ideologies. They usually get a permit for that. So funny to me that if you were to apply for a vanity plate anywhere that said, "I love Nazis," they would deny you that vanity plate. However, if you just fill out some extra paperwork, you could bring a giant sign that says, "I love the Nazis," and you could just put that up wherever, apparently along highways too, which isn't so that distracting to drivers, really, right? You're driving along, you see a "I love Nazis" sign, that doesn't distract you at all while you're driving on the highway. I mean, that seems so totally fine. The article says that this particular county has become home to multiple Nazi-themed demonstrations in recent years. That sounds lovely. Also, prior to being arrested for this infraction, the Florida man Brown's previous charges include domestic battery by strangulation, contempt of court, tampering in a felony proceeding. He's also been accused of stealing and destroying a Jewish man's cell phone during another demonstration. Okay. But yet, with all of that, he could have applied to hang his Nazi sign on the highway. Had he gone through the proper channels, would have been granted permission, despite all of this. I tell you, man, I just can't stand those Florida Nazis. Just hanging surreptitious signs displaying inflammatory messages. Goodness gracious, something must be done about these Florida Nazis. But the reality is nothing's going to be done about the Florida Nazis. Florida is a state that seems to welcome Nazis. They give them a platform to express themselves, let's just say. It's a pretty liberal platform, by the way. You just got to fill out some paperwork and have under 20 arrests prior. You know what I'm saying? And then they give you the permit. Yay! A Florida mother abandons her child to go swimming in the ocean to meet sharks. Great headline. Tampa, Florida. A Florida lady reportedly abandoned her vehicle with a child in it while the car was still running. She went to swim in the ocean. This is according to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, who responded to the call at 10:30 a.m. on Monday at a place called Captain Khan's Fish House. Captain Khan's sounds like an amazing place to have some fried clams and do some people watching down in Florida. According to a witness, we have 41-year-old Florida woman Allison Sarah Daughtry. She parked her car near a local pier, turned up the radio volume. It doesn't say what song she turned it up to. She probably heard some, I don't know, what do Floridians like? Some good Southern rock. Kid rock, probably, right? She probably turned up the Kid rock. Then she took her clothes off, jumped into the water, and swam for about 20 minutes, all while her child was in the car. Poor kid, stuck in there listening to some loud Kid rock while the mother takes a dip. Daugherty had also left the air conditioning on in the car. That's lovely. That's nice. Because she could have easily not had the air conditioning on. She gives a damn about the child. She's like, "Honey, I'm going to be back, but I'm going to keep the car running so you can get the air conditioning. Please enjoy Kid Rock, my favorite artist. I'm going to go try and meet some sharks. Going to take a selfie with a shark. I'll be right back." People were shouting at her as she swam around, this Florida woman. People were there. They were trying to be helpful. They were telling her that there's fishing hooks and sharks in the water. They're yelling, "There's fishing hooks! There's sharks in the water!" She knows that. She knows there's fishing hooks and sharks in the water. That's what she's all about. She wants to be among the fishing hooks and the sharks. She yelled back she didn't care. She said, quote, that she wanted to get hooked. She wanted to get hooked. And, quote, she would want to meet sharks as well. "I want to get hooked. I want to meet sharks." When the deputies arrived, they say this Florida woman swam away from the coast With no intention of stopping, a local Marine unit had to bring her back. A staff member at the Captain Khan's Fish House say they saw the woman and her son 3 times that week at the restaurant and that she was acting quite odd. Here's a quote from Jenny, who works at Captain Khan's. "We called the sheriff's office. She didn't seem drunk. She didn't seem intoxicated, but something was just off." Staff members say they were primarily concerned over the young boy as he was still in diapers. They told the media that he was very well behaved and seemed completely oblivious to what was going on. Oh, this poor child doesn't have a chance. And this was one window of opportunity for the kid to just get away from this lady forever and always. I feel like this sort of story is so sad. I hate to end on such a sad story when you think about the children in Florida, though. I mean, how does it not just make you feel hopeless? These poor kids, man. Is there some sort of organization out there to help the Florida children? I think we should begin one. Some charity of some sort. They don't have a chance over there, man. Your parents just taking you out into public when they're completely wasted, driving you around intoxicated, jumping into the ocean to swim with sharks and take selfies with fish hooks. I mean, I'm very concerned. The article ends by saying Florida woman Daughtry was taken to the Lee County Jail. She's being charged with child neglect, and it's probably not the first time. Doesn't say whether or not she met any sharks, though. I'd love an update on that. Hello, my friends, loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Florida Friday. And thank you for sending me stories, links to articles in preparation for the Florida Friday episode. I appreciate that. That was very helpful. I want to give thanks and praise to someone that bought me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. It's Anthony Caruso. Anthony Caruso, big shout out, showing some support for the Weird AF News podcast. Anthony wrote me a little note here. Love the show, Jonesy. Listen to it every night. Anthony from Brooklyn, New York. Anthony from Brooklyn, New York. Oh, man. I love my Brooklyn people. Yeah. I lived in Queens and I lived in Manhattan. Never lived in Brooklyn, but have a lot of friends from Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's amazing. Big shout out to Anthony Caruso from Brooklyn, supporting Weird AF News. Love it. Love it. So you guys can support the show by buying me a coffee off the website, weirdafnews.com. You can also join the Patreon there as well, weirdafnews.com. Or you can download the Patreon app on your phone. Just do a search for Weird AF News. And that's like buying Jonesy a coffee every month, which is extremely helpful and much appreciated. If you hadn't heard, I'm also on Cameo, so you can hire me to make a personalized video for you or a loved one. Someone who's a fan of the show that you know might have a birthday coming up, and I can make a personal video for them. Or I can just say good luck with your life, man. On a personalized video, you can do that by going to cameo.com. It's cameo.com/comedian Jonesy, one word. I'll put a link in the description of the podcast right in there if you'd like to do that. So yeah, you can hire me to do that. I'm going to read a review that I got on Amazon. It's a terrible review by Darren Stevens, who only gave me 1 star out of 5. Darren, is pretty confused, wrote, "Not sure where the 5-star reviews are coming from." And then the review says, "Just not funny. Rambling, amused by his own jokes. Subscribed and skipped it for a while on Flash Briefing. Then I deleted it because I couldn't skip it fast enough. As I said, not sure where the 5-star reviews are coming from, but this guy's just not funny and has no insight to the human condition that humor is based on." Oh, geez. Poor Darren. Poor Darren. I wasted his time with my rambling. Oh, geez. So sorry, bro. So sorry, guy. I never asked to listen to my podcast. I never forced my podcast on you. And so the 1 star, whoa, rough stuff right there. But yeah, I really ruined his day, or multiple days, sadly. And poor Darren also on another level just doesn't understand that humor is subjective. You know, it just is. And what Darren finds funny or not funny, others might find funny or not funny. And that's just the way humor is. I don't know. So strange that people have these definitive declarations about what is or isn't funny, or what is or isn't good music, or what is or isn't a great painting. Poor Darren, he has a very undeveloped perspective in life. And here at Weird AF News, we just hope that Darren gets his shit together and becomes a much more reasonable person and less angry. That would be lovely as well. If you guys would like to leave me a 5-star review to show Darren where they come from, you can do that on Amazon. Amazon.com. You can do it at on any app that you listen to the podcast on. I believe most of them have ways in which you can review the podcast. You can give it 5 stars on Spotify, which if you're listening right now, that's really quick. Just click 5 stars on Spotify. And you can't write a review. And anyways, you don't have to spend your time doing that. You can also do so on Apple Podcasts, also known as iTunes. You can leave me a review and give me some stars as well. I would appreciate that because we need to offset these 1 stars that I get from people like Darren. And, I would greatly appreciate that. And if you don't have time to do any of these, you could just tell a friend over the weekend. Maybe you're at a barbecue or something. Maybe you're at Captain Khan's Fish House watching people take their clothes off and jump into the ocean off the pier. Just tell a friend or a loved one about Weird AF News. We could spread the word like that as we spread it around. But it'll tell people that you think might appreciate what's going on here, If you don't like any takes on the stories, then you're not going to like this because I always give a take. I don't understand why people are so confused with that. I mean, anybody can just read the news. You can go read the news yourself. I'm offering something different. That's the point of it. So people don't seem to get that. Anyways, enough of the complaining that I'm doing. I'll just see you next week. Have a great weekend, guys, and good luck with your life, man.